briefly is Lando Norris. And I know one of the topics you wanted to talk about today is just his market overall and what's happening with him and why. So I'll let you lead us off on that one. Is Lando Norris's market collapsing? What is happening?
Lando Norris is one of the fan favorites. Everyone knows that, from the Drive to Survive fans, I'll call it this way, to just, F1 connoisseurs that will say he's probably one of the top three most talented drivers on the grid. Plus, he's super marketable, has an amazing star power. He is among the long-term future of the sport. Also, he has a very long contract with McLaren. He's building an esport empire with his quadrant business. So, the e-racing. I don't know if you were into F1 back in the day. I'm saying back in the day. It's been 2 years, but before they actually resumed the 2020 season, these guys were all racing, e-racing. Charles, Max, George, Lando, all of them, and Lando is also building his side, this side of his legacy, if I may. Helping young e-racing prospects and all that stuff. But right now, what's happening with this market, just like pretty much all the card market, there's a market correction. I'm not going to start debating on that, but McLaren is terrible. That's what's happening. McLaren is actually terrible, and they can't give Lando a competitive car. This weekend in Montreal, they were not terrible, they were horrible. And Lando raised some issues with his power unit, and he actually didn't place in the points. Both cars didn't place in the points, and they're going to need to do something. So when we talked at the beginning of the episode about the market being driven by performance, people are probably letting go of their Lando cards to try and move their investments somewhere else. And Lando will go back up. I can't stress enough about how he will win races in his career. So if there's one guy right now that is a buy, it's him. Look at, I have many of his cards, some that are at grading. And there's actually a card that I own that is Sapphire Portrait PSA 10, and I think it dropped by something like 50%. So probably that some very high end cards of his are holding value, but from what I looked in the past days or weeks, Lando's cards are just falling apart. So is it a good time to buy when you believe that this driver will do something in the mid long term? I'm thinking so, yes.
Phenomenal. Love it. Great analysis. And we all need to know how to time these things and who to believe in for the long term. And I think that that's super important to F1 card investing, is just kind of who is prospecting, who is a long-term investment. And so let's talk